Start your week by installing your game plan.
Today, from Raymond James Stadium in Tampa, Florida, it's Week 6 of the NFL on EA Sports. See Tom Brady and the Tampa Bay Buccaneers taking on Aaron Rodgers and the Green Bay Packers.
Still a bit warm here in Florida, but really all things considered, a wonderful fall afternoon for football here in Tampa at Raymond James Stadium. With the echoes of cannon blast still ringing in our ears from the north end zone, the Bucs were introduced a moment ago, and they are all set as their guys will do battle with the Green Bay Packers. With Charles Davis, as always, I'm Brandon Gaudin. Charles, you talk about storylines in this one. I think it begins and ends with our two quarterbacks, certainly two of the best in the business.
And nowadays, I don't think you can get by for long periods of time without a top-flight quarterback. The way the game is played, with all the responsibility he has and how the game flows through him, if he's not on the top of his game, your team's not going to benefit at all.
The Packers take over.
Leading the Packers offense out here, the same man who has been doing so since 2008. That's the great Aaron Rodgers.
And coming off of an early season open week. And in this situation, what he told us when we sat down with him was he spent a lot of time working on fundamentals, kind of getting back to basics during that time, as opposed to having to worry about healing up or resting up. It was too early in the season. Get back to the basics, get his game going again.
Jones with a nice gain there on first down as he takes us forward and call it a pickup of 6.
That's a really nice job by them picking up the run blitz and detecting it and blocking it and turning it into a nice run. And a lot of times you think if you blitz a running play, you're going to smother it. But a lot of the blitzers, they come in a little bit high. They don't have great leverage, and they're easily blocked and turned to the side.
6 yards on that last play. Here's 2nd and 4. Working from the gun, Rodgers. And nearly an interception here on their opening drive. But instead, 3rd down.
Incomplete.
From the gun, it's Rodgers. Yeah, that one's going to be knocked away and incomplete. The surprise 2nd-round pick, Sean Bunting there to get a hand in.
How about some applause for the defense there? They forced him to throw that one into coverage, and just like that, they're staring at a 4th down. Well done.
And he gets this away, and look at this. This is a good one. And that'll hit at the 5 and go into the end zone for a touchback. Here come the Buccaneers, led by their new quarterback for 2020. Of course, you know the story by now. His 21st season, first in Tampa. It's Tom Brady.
Coming off of a loss their last time out, I think he's just seeking to make a bigger impact on the game. He threw a touchdown pass, didn't throw an interception. I think he just wants to jump those numbers up in terms of flinging it around and letting his receivers get into the end zone.
Brady and the Buccaneers here, 1st and 10 at the 20. Here's Ronald Jones, first carry for the USC man. And he's going to get this one across the 30-yard line. A gain of 11 to kick off the drive, and it's a quick 1st down.
That's a very nice game there, a confidence-building run. Love the execution up front, and the way he pressed the hole, absolutely perfect.
And they'll keep on the ground with Jones. Fights through, and now a crease. Now he's going to get this all the way down inside the 35. That one's good for 35 yards on the ground and a 1st down. They've done a pretty good job containing him up until this drive, and until that run, there was no containing him at all.
Yeah, you're right about that. He finally popped free. But we didn't have to be in their practice sessions. We didn't have to be in their meeting rooms. They planned for a run like that to happen, maybe a couple of them. But what did they tell their guys all week? You know what they said. Move on to the next play. That one just happened. Let it go.
So the big play changes the complexion of things. Here's 1st and 10 just outside the 30. Working from the gun, it's Brady. There's the Penn State man. It's Chris Godwin. And this will be a gain of 5 as he gets it to the 30. Interesting note about our 2 quarterbacks, Brady and Rodgers. This is sort of a rubber match for these guys. They've been around a long time. We all know that, but they've only met twice before, with Rodgers winning in 2014 and then Brady leveling the score. Touchdown, Tampa Bay! Antonio Brown, his 5th touchdown now on the year. And the Bucs have taken a first-quarter lead. Both sides of the football in sync early. You force the 3 and out, and then you take it down, score points.
You know what that tells me? They sold their game plan really well. Head coach said, listen, we're just going to stop them on 3 and out. We're going to take the ball downfield and score. But he also told them how it was going to happen. They're going to run this. We're going to stop it. Then we're going to take the ball. They won't be able to keep up with us. And they got it done.
Ryan Suckup on for the point after. And that one gives the Bucs a 7-0 lead. Just a 4-play drive that time. And it's all finished off with a touchdown by Tampa Bay. Following the touchdown now, it's Bradley Pinion on to kick this one away. Williams now on the return. Sheds a second man.
He's building up some momentum, isn't he?
Packers take over 1st and 10 at their own 20-yard line.
The Packers offense here coming back out for their second drive. And the last drive, the first drive for them, not very good. 3 and out. What do they go to here?
Well, you don't look down at your play sheet and say, this is what the problem is. Now, let's find out where the playmakers are. Get the ball in their hands, and maybe the offense will move a little bit better.
Sometimes it's more important to get it to the right people rather than dialing up the right number.
Exactly.
Or the right play, yeah.
That too.
From the 22, here's 2nd and 8. Shotgun now for Rodgers. Man open, that's Marquez Valdez-Scantling. And they're able to get this one across the 35. 15 yards on the play, first down.
Good catch by Marquez Valdez-Scantling, and that's something that his teammates needed to see and something he needed for himself. They call him MVS, and they want him to become an MVP type of a receiver. Speed to burn. He can stretch the field. They just need him to be as dependable catching the ball as we saw there throughout the season.
With the handoff to Aaron Jones.
I remember a coaching friend of mine used to tell his running backs before games, make sure you run and jog with your offensive line in pregame. Get used to the ground shaking when those big behemoths start to create space for you up front. He did a pretty good job of just following those guys through there for a nice explosive run.
A gain of just a yard, but it's a first down. Well, we've seen running backs in today's NFL get involved in the passing game. Maybe it's about time more receivers like that get involved in the running game.
And that is something we are seeing more and more in this league, no question about it. That wasn't the biggest of gains, but it's enough to get them a first down. And it continues to test the defense. They have to think on every play about who might end up with the ball.
Give him 10 there, good enough for a Packer first down. Counting down toward the midway point in quarter one.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense... was effective, able to stop him before you get a good head of steam going.
And that was a heck of a play there on the outside.
Partner, sometimes I think on a play like this as a corner, you've got to think to yourself, all I got to do is slow him down so others can come over and support. But in this case, he said, forget that. I've got this. Sorry you had to make the run for nothing, fellas.
And he'll take it inside the 40 to the 39-yard line. 2 runs in a row, but only 2 yards to show for it.
Typically, we think it's the strong safeties that are better tacklers, especially closer to the line of scrimmage amidst traffic. But in this case, how about the free safety coming up and making the big-time play?
And he is going to have a Packers first down as they're able to get the third down conversion. A good-looking drive for the Packers so far. It's a first down.
Packers.
I remember when Alan Lazard came out of Iowa State, many questioned his speed and wondered if he could separate from defenders downfield. He got pressed into action in the middle of last year due to injury for Green Bay and wound up second on the team in receiving yards as he developed and got better each and every week. Remember that Monday night game against the Bears, partner? A late touchdown and a big comeback victory.
They go back to the ground with Jones. He takes us down to about the 12 for a gain of 3.
Jones on the run.
Brandon, all things considered, they have to feel pretty good about getting that type of a gain considering the blitz that they just had against them.
Brings up third down.
The Bucs with an extra defender now in the secondary here on third down. And that is incomplete.
That's what you're going to need to do against those big receivers. You got to get in there and get physical with them. That time he got in close, got in tight, and knocked the ball away.
So on now for the Packers at their all-time leading scorer, Mason Crosby. And the 18-year man puts it through, and they are on the board, but still trailing. It's 7-3.
Packers 3.
So a dozen plays on that drive, CD, but in the end, it yields just the 3 points.
Well, they were able to keep the defense on the field for a long time, but let's be honest about it. That's about as unsatisfying a drive as you're going to get. 12 plays and you only get 3 points out of it. Not quite the ending they were looking for.
The lead cut to just 4 as they kick it away and turn things over to their D. Fielded near the back of the end zone. And he'll just take a seat, and the drive will begin at the 25-yard line.
Their own 25-yard
Tampa Bay, they're getting ready to set up shop here for their second drive. And for them, a touchdown their last go-around. Obviously, they'll be hoping to do that again.
And when you start plotting for this drive, when you start thinking to yourself, okay, what are we going to do? You don't go away from what you did before because that worked, but you have to be prepared for wrinkles and counters because you know they'll make some adjustments.
They'll start the drive with a carry by Jones. Yeah, this will be a gain of 5 as he gets it to the 30. Give him 5 on the carry there, and it'll be second down.
Brandon, 5 yards on that run. Let's get back to the huddle and make sure if you're a back, you spend time with your offensive line and give them credit. Hard to move those 300-plus pounders at the line of scrimmage, and they did for a significant chunk of yardage.
And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. But the Brady-Gronk connection, certainly something to watch here with the Bucs in 2020. Of Tom Brady's 541 touchdown passes coming into 2020, Gronk's 78 were the most of any receiver. This will be stopped about 2 yards shy of the marker. 8-yard gain, 2nd and 2.
8 yards on the.
They're making a real first-quarter statement with a run game, no doubt.
For those who remember old-school football, running it, establishing things, seeing backs find holes, get through them, they've got to like what they're seeing from this unit so far. Right now, they've decided to, as you said, establish the run game, and they've been successful doing it.
He got maybe a half yard at most, but officially they'll be left with a 3rd and 2.
Third and
As usual, the hallmark of a good run defense, linebackers making plays near the line of scrimmage. Absolutely nowhere to run there.
They'll try and run for it with Jones. And he's going to have a first down as he's brought down at the 44-yard line. They get 6 on the pickup there as the drive will continue.
Well, they came into this game saying it was important that they set the tone and show that they can run the football. I believe that they've done that here in the first quarter.
On 1st and 10, here's Brady. This into the hands of his running back, Ronald Jones. And he'll be out just a yard or 2 shy of the 30. It'll be a pickup of 13 on the play, and it'll move the chains. After 1, 7-3 the score on EA Sports. Throwing on first down is Brady. On the crossing route, complete. That's Brown. And he's got this down almost to the 20 before he's dropped. Now, after the completion, we're going to get a timeout, an injured player. While the training staff works on him, we'll step aside and be right back. Now a first down carry by Jones. And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair.
That was well played there defensively. 2 tight ends in the formation, which essentially gave them 7 blockers up front. Hard to imagine with all that size and beef that they could let a tackler through, but that's exactly what happened. A loss resulted.
Now Brady, maybe a free play here. And a sack. They get to him defensively, but the flag comes in, and I think the D jumped. Well, we looked at each other right when he flinched. We knew that that flag was coming.
Yeah, offsides, easy call, mark off the 5, and keep it moving.
Brady to throw on 2nd down. That's complete to his running back, Evans. And he is out of bounds, but first he gets it inside the 10 to the 7. Brady to Evans that time. First down, Tampa.
Good catch there by Mike Evans, and his ability to get downfield and create big plays is something that Tom Brady hasn't had on the perimeter in the last few seasons. Mike Evans often fools defenders with his speed because he's so long. People think he can't be that fast, but he is, and combines it with terrific hands and makes big catches.
On second and goal, Brady to the end zone, but it's incomplete.
Now we've got third and goal coming up, and couldn't you imagine being in that huddle, partner? You know they're looking at each other saying, we can't come away with just 3 points after this drive.
Yeah, they've covered a lot of ground. They want more than that 3. Brady now on third and goal. Yeah, he's got it. And he is out of bounds here. A gain of 5, but not enough. Leads to a 4th and goal.
Well, it wasn't a big strike, but that completion put them in really great range. What do we have now, 4th and inches?
Yeah, it's not more than a half a foot.
You know what I would do here?
You would always go for it.
I'm one of those guys.
And Suckup will put this one right through. And they push the lead up to a touchdown now at 10-3. So they get 3, certainly hoping for 6 after a 13-play drive.
So you console yourself on defense by saying you did your job, right? If they go 13 plays, you only give up a field goal, you did a nice job there. But here's the other part. 13 plays, you don't force any mistakes, you don't take the ball away. Maybe that's the way they should look at it.
At their own 23-yard line.
The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway. Just a lone field goal for them so far, trailing 10-3 as they come up 1st and 10. And the second wave of tacklers is going to get him as they stop him behind the line.
As a wideout, when you take that handoff and you're coming around the edge, you're expecting to see nothing but empty space in front of you. But if not...
Well, things can go south in a hurry, and that's exactly what we saw on that play with a loss. Give them 14 on that one and a 1st down.
A gain of 14.
Nice job there of utilizing his big target. He didn't overthink it. Understands the catch radius, understands that he knows how to use his body to keep defenders away from the ball, and puts it right out there for the nice pickup.
Yeah, boy, it is tough to bring him down that time. He surges forward. He's going to get a full 6 out of that. 2nd down. The last run got 6. Now 2nd and 4. From the shotgun, a give to Jones. And this will be a Packers 1st down as he's got this up to the 45-yard line.
So many times someone's success is the product of a lot of things coming together really well. And for Aaron Jones in 2019, it all came together for him. He stayed healthy, was on the field for all 16 games, got handed the ball 100 more times last year, and as an end result, broke 1,000 yards in a season rushing for the first time in his career.
This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. Out of the shotgun, it's Jones. And they will only muster a yard here to the 38.
No doubt about it. A really nice job there by the defense, not allowing him to get to the perimeter. But that means your defensive ends, your outside linebackers, the guys that you pay big money to sack the quarterback, they also have to have interest in the running game as well. And they did a nice job there of holding the point of attack and not giving ground.
The Packers on 3rd down. Just 1 for 3 thus far. They're looking at 3rd in the nose of the football. And Adams has it. Good play. And he's going to have a Packers 1st down, maybe by about a yard as they find a way to convert on 3rd and inches.
1st down, Green Bay.
Got to say, I was a little surprised to see him, Charles, come out in the shotgun on 3rd and less than a yard.
Yeah, but the way the NFL is nowadays, we hardly ever see anyone really run for it on short yardage. So they're going to throw the football more times than not. That was a nice, easy rhythm throw right there, and they pick up the 1st down.
It's now 2nd and 6. At the 20.
On 2nd down, it's Jones. And a nice run there, going to take this close to the 1st down marker at the Bucs 16. Call it a gain of 7, and it gets him a new set of downs. So the ball down to the 16 here for 1st and 10. And right side, they're going to go option here. And he's going to be met at the line of scrimmage and taken down. No gain there as he kept it himself at 2nd down. Well, for that being an option play, there really weren't too many options available for him, were there?
No, there weren't, and at least he was able to get back to the line of scrimmage, so he didn't lose anything, but you're exactly right. Nowhere to go.
3rd catch for him on this drive alone, and it'll give him a 1st down.
Well, that certainly has to feel good, and it's not all the time that the play caller should get all the...
And he'll take this one in for a Packer touchdown. Aaron Jones, his 5th touchdown now on the year. And the Packers are within an extra point of tying this thing up.
For the extra point.
A solid blocking up front from the guys on the offensive line allowed him to get in for the touchdown.
Yeah, some might say that the guys on the offensive line were in concert. I used to have a coach who called it marrying up. Meaning, when you get on a guy, you just stay right there, and each guy has his own assignment. That allowed the runner to make the big move towards the end zone.
All level now at 10 apiece as the kick's away. Now a hit and a loose football, and the Packers pick it up.
Recovered by the kicking team.
As that ball got away from him, and he saw the opposing team recover it.
You felt his pain?
Oh, I felt his pain, and you know what was going through his head. Tuck it away. Take care of the ball. All the things he hears all week in practice, he didn't carry it over into the game.
So from the 17 now, here's a 1st and 10. Rodgers with a give. It's Aaron Jones. And he'll get 7 yards from the 17 to the 10 before he's taken down.
He was taken down at the 10-yard line. It's a gain of 7. Brings up 2nd and
all
3.
tied up at 10. 2 minutes left in the first half. We remind you that coming up at halftime, we'll send you cross-state to Orlando, where Jonathan Coachman will have all the stats and all the scores from games going on during another busy Sunday in the National Football League. And oh, not only did he drop it, he dropped it in the end zone.
3rd down. And 3.
Rodgers going to try and throw on 3rd down. And he's got it. It's caught for a Packers touchdown. Alan Lazard, his 4th touchdown on the year. And the Packers have taken the lead.
Mason Crosby.
Well, that's about as quick of a passing touchdown as you'll ever see right there.
Everyone has a section in their playbook called the quick game. That was a super quick game. Out of the hands of the thrower, bam, right to the receiver, successfully for a touchdown.
How in-depth is that quick game part of the playbook?
It's pretty in-depth because people want the ball in the hands of the quarterback into the playmaker's hands downfield as fast as possible. There are a lot of plays, a lot of options involved with that.
And able to get this out to the 25.
1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line.
And this offense trotting back onto the field. Let's turn our attention here to Ronald Jones. He's been good. They've utilized him well, but they're losing here in the 2nd quarter. What might they change offensively?
I think that what you try and do is expand how you get the ball to him a little bit. Get him out in open space, maybe swing the ball to him. What's that they used to call in the West Coast offense, the long handoff? Yeah. Serve as your running play that way, as well as continue to feed him the football. Some of these runs now may pop bigger later in the game because of the effects of running it. Sometimes people, after a while, they don't want to tackle him anymore, or they get tired, or they get out of position, or he runs through tackles. Continue to feed him the ball. He's having that kind of game.
Yeah, might they get him the ball in some space in some different ways here. 9 yards to pick up there, and it's a 1st down. And taking it across midfield and inside the 45. 17 yards on the play and a Buccaneer 1st down. He'll drop this underneath for Jones. 5 yards on the pickup, and it'll bring up a 2nd down.
All defenses worry that whenever anyone catches the ball and has a head of steam come out of the backfield, it can turn into a big play with missed tackles or he runs through people. But they were right there waiting, and they stopped him for a minimal gain.
Throwing again on 2nd down. Brady throwing the out route incomplete. That's Brown. The Bucs going to go ahead and use the 2nd of their timeouts as they'll stop it with just over 40 seconds to go in the first half. So 1st and 10 now from the 30. Again, it's Brady. That's complete to his receiver, Godwin. Touchdown, Tampa Bay! Chris Godwin, his 4th touchdown on the year. And the Buccaneers are an extra point away from tying up this football game.
After nearly 30 minutes of football, that touchdown puts us in a position where if they make the extra point, we're right back to even before we start the second half.
Extra point try now for Succop. And he gets it to go, and we're all even, 17 apiece. So that drives 6 plays, 75 yards. And it ends with a touchdown for the Bucs. 17-17 the score. All even to this point as the kick's away. And no return on this one as the fair catch is signaled for and taken.
The Packers take over first and...
Here's Aaron Jones in the offense trotting back out. And we checked the rushing numbers so far here into Week 6, and the returns have been really good. Now, you're starting to hit that stride middle of the season toward the end. They're certainly hoping they can keep up this production.
They are, because one of the adages in the NFL is that defense travels and defense endures even in bad weather, right? You know what else does? A good running game. And people want that, especially as you head down this stretch. You may play outdoors in some nasty stuff. You're trying to get to the playoffs. This is the time to get it going. And individually, I don't think you should just think about 1,000 yards either. The bar has to be set higher with this beginning.
The Pro Bowl wideout Devontae Adams, his intended receiver. And that'll bring up second down. A final shot before half for Rodgers. And he'll let this go deep for Lazard. And that'll be incomplete as it's knocked away. But a penalty flag is down. So who's this going to be on? So that PI call will give him one more play.
And it'll be an untimed play as well. Now the half will end after this one, unless there's another defensive penalty.
And Crosby puts it through, and that will do it for this first half. So we've hit halftime, just a field goal separating these two teams at the break. As we send you a stone's throw away across I-4 to Orlando. There standing by is Jonathan Coachman, ready with our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach?
All right, Brandon, thanks. A few teams starting to rise to the top as it's time to take you around the NFL here in Week 6. We'll start up at TIAA Stadium in Jacksonville, where it was the visiting Lions who come in and get the road victory. Adrian Peterson, over 100 yards on the afternoon thus far, with a touchdown run as well. From there, let's head off and check out a second game. And they have the lead over the visiting New York Jets. The Chargers seem to be on their way to what would be a good victory. Lastly, let's head up to the Twin Cities to check in on the Vikings at home in Minneapolis. And they were victorious in that one over the visiting Atlanta Falcons. Kirk Cousins, 4 touchdown passes in the victory. In our game has been Aaron Rodgers, who was on target in the first half. His guys lead, though by only a field goal. Still anybody's game, as we send it back to Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
Thank you, sir. A field goal separates these two teams as we come back for this second half. It's been a shootout so far. We'll see which defense can make the adjustments as we get back underway in the second half. Fielded near the back of the end zone. And not willing to risk another fumble. He'll sit on this one. It's a touchback. Out come the Buccaneers. They'll have it first to start in the third quarter. And they'll be looking to build off of a nice drive last time. A drive that really relied on the quarterback.
Making good decisions, distributing the ball well, distributing it accurately, keeping it away from danger. A really nicely run drive.
But now the defense, what adjustments do they need to make in the passing game?
Pass rush, pass rush, pass rush. Whether it's the guys up front or maybe you bring additional guys, but you've got to disrupt the timing of them throwing the football.
We'll see if they can disrupt it here. Now a toss left side into the hands of his tight end. That throw good for only a couple and brings up third down.
I think it's okay there. They didn't get a whole lot on that play, but it's nice to have a safety valve that's built like this guy. Big target, guy you can spot pretty easily. Put it on him when your other targets aren't open.
He's going deep for Brown. Now the defense loses him. It's complete. And able to rip off a big chunk of yardage before being dropped inside the 40. On 3rd and 10, they go flying past the marker and get nearly 40 yards. So how about that for a chain mover? They're all the way down inside the 40 now for 1st and 10.
Well, they've got to remember that they're not going to get it all back on one drive. But that being said, they also had to come out here in the 3rd quarter with a sense of urgency and playmaking ability, and they showed it on that last play.
A 6-yard pickup brings up 2nd and 4.
They'll go again to Jones. And he struggles to get a yard here, maybe a yard, down to the 31.
The tackle by Dean Lowry. A gain of a yard.
And this is why aggressive defense coordinators love to blitz. It wreaks havoc because they end up taking their attention to the blitzers, freed up the D lineman to make the play.
Brady going to try and throw on 3rd down. He gets it into the hands of Gronkowski, complete. And he's going to have a Bucs 1st down. They needed 3. He doubled that. He got 6. Brady to Gronk, a familiar ring to that one, and it's a Buccaneers 1st down. From the gun, it's Brady. Quickly to Gronkowski. That's caught. Give him 9 there on the 1st down completion.
To Rob Gronkowski. It's a gain of...
And there's a nice catch there by Rob Gronkowski. We all know the story. Came out of retirement, got himself traded to Tampa Bay from New England in order to reconnect with his favorite quarterback. And no one has caught more Tom Brady touchdowns.
And now a fumble. Brady loses the football. And this is going to be Packer football.
Aaron Rodgers sacked. Fumble on the play. Recovered by...
Every week we hear talk about create turnovers. In particular, they wanted to force some fumbles. They got one right there.
And it shows you how the game has changed over time. It used to be good enough for a guy to get a sack of a quarterback in the pocket. Now, if you come to the sidelines and you didn't knock the ball free, your coaches are upset with you. All right, so if you're a quarterback, it starts all the way back in the youth leagues. Take care of the ball, take care of the ball, take care of the ball, because here come the defenders.
3 yards on that last carry. Here's 2nd and 7. Throwing is Rodgers. Got an open man. It's Valdez-Scantling.
Rodgers pass.
That catch good for 5. It's 3rd down.
Scantling. A 5-yard pickup on the play. And it's 3rd down.
Here's Jones. And he's got the 1st down as he's up to the 45-yard line. At 5 yards on the play there, as the drive will continue.
So after the defense gets you the ball on a takeaway and a fumble recovery of their own, you've got to reward them, don't you? You've got to stay out on the field, give them a chance to rest, and how about doing it the way they did it, running the football and picking it up on 3rd down.
Would not have wanted to go 3 and out. They avoid that right there.
Yeah, they avoided the glares as they went back to the bench, didn't they?
The 1st down run got 5. Here's 2nd and 5. From midfield, here's Rodgers. And he almost had it defensively. Could have been a game changer there in this 2nd half. Instead, it's 3rd down.
It's 3rd down. And 5 yards.
Shotgun now for Rodgers. He's got his man, Valdez-Scantling. And he is going to have a Packers 1st down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion. That'll give him 60 yards receiving now as he's got a 1st down.
Green Bay.
Now the toss to Jones, running right. Oh, and now some space to operate. And inside the 20 before brought down. Another nice gain. That's now 30 yards between those last 2 plays.
Looks to me like maybe there's a little attrition setting in with this drive, because when you see that type of a run, I get the feeling the defense getting a little bit tired.
And that's the last thing they need, especially when they look up at the scoreboard. Robert Tonyan was the one he was looking for, but it's going to be 2nd down. And this will be well too low for him to bring in. It's incomplete on 2nd down now. It's Jones. And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down. But a nice little gain. That'll leave them with a 3rd and 2 coming up. They got 8 yards there. Play number 9 set to come here on the drive on 3rd and 2. And he won't be close to a first down as he runs into a wall right around the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play there, and it'll bring up 4th down. They've called his number a lot this afternoon. You wonder how much tread is left on those tires.
We certainly do, but I always think back to one of my favorite coaches in the NFL. And he used to have a meeting with his running backs every year in the offseason and say, look, as many times as you're going to carry the ball, you should be able to carry it one more time, so make sure you get in shape.
Only the Titans converted more red zone opportunities into touchdowns than the Packers last. And he will get this into the end zone. Touchdown, Green Bay. Aaron Jones, his 2nd touchdown of the afternoon. And the Packers add 6 to their lead. Circle that drive because that might be one to remember. Well executed to give them a little cushion.
Well, let's take it into the boxing ring. You talk about them commanding it, keeping the fight where they wanted to, whether it was in the center of the ring or putting them on the ropes because it was jab, jab, jab. And finally, the haymaker to put that drive away.
Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. Fielded near the back of the end zone. And not willing to risk another fumble. He'll sit on this one. It's a touchback. Back now comes Tampa Bay. And the turnover last time, that's sort of been symptomatic of their struggles here in this one.
Good word. I like it, though, because you're exactly right.
Like that, don't you?
All game long, they've struggled moving the ball, turning it over on the last possession. Is that word again, symptomatic?
Yeah.
I like that.
Your analysis, symptomatic of the success of this broadcast.
What I like is that you gave me the word, and I just kept using it.
And not much to speak of. Call it a 1-yard gain up to the 26.
A gain of a yard.
Well, it's time for them to be good teammates right here. And what I mean by that is possess the ball for a little while. Get at least 2 first downs. Give their defense a chance to settle down a little bit after they give up a touchdown.
Here's a throw caught by Grunke. And he's able to take this one up to the 35-yard line.
And the tight end is certainly a position built to move the chains because they can control space underneath. If they've got good hands, then, of course, they're a dynamic target. But one other thing is they're right in the sight lines of a quarterback on just about every play. And that makes it easier for the quarterback to pick him out and deliver.
It's a 7-yard carry to set them up with a 2nd and 3. Final minute now of the 3rd quarter.
And there we saw one of the downsides of blitzing during a rundown because sometimes you get out of your gaps. You don't fit the run quite as well because you're headed towards the ball carrier with abandon.
They'll wind up losing 3, and now it's 3rd down.
But if these guys are going to chop into that deficit, they're going to have to do a much better job in the run game. Caught behind the line of scrimmage, no yardage will be found.
Throwing is Brady on 3rd down. And he took the contact as he was throwing it, and the ball drops incomplete.
We just saw another example of really good defensive football, which has led to the cushion that they have in this game. Got to him once again, knocked him on the ground, forced an incompletion.
Yeah, they've set the tone. It's one thing to set the tone, another to come in here on the road and set the tone. On the return is Williams. And bulldozing through multiple tackles. Good blocking there, nearly sprung him. As it is, it'll go as a 19-yard return. And it'll be Packer football here. 1st down and 10. They'll start out on the ground with Jones. Nowhere to go that time. Might have gotten a yard up to the 25.
That's the end.
Brandon, I've got to think this offensive line has got some smiles on its faces. And I know it sounds crazy, but they practiced for this back in training camp. They knew they'd be in situations where it'd be extra defensive.
Of the football. And this should be the final play before the quarter ends. On 2nd down, it's Jones, and he'll be upended at the 28-yard line. Just a 3-yard gain there. Back now in Tampa. It's Packer football here as they've got the lead as well to begin the 4th quarter. The Packers on 3rd down. They've had good success, 5 for 8 to this point. This will be 3rd and 6. He'll have a first down past the 40. And finally brought down right at the midfield stripe. Give him 22 there on the third down conversion.
I remember when Alan Lazard came out of Iowa State, many questioned his speed and wondered if he could separate from defenders downfield. He got pressed into action in the middle of last year due to injury for Green Bay and wound up second on the team in receiving yards as he developed and got better each and every week. Remember that Monday night game against the Bears, partner? A late touchdown and a big comeback victory.
Last play, they went over 20 yards. This time, they topped 30.
I think we're seeing the effect that runs like that are starting to have on this game. They're a little bit slower, that front seven, reacting to the football, almost like body blows in boxing, slowing them down, and they're really starting to take over in this game.
So the big play means just like that, they'll operate from the red zone now on first down. And they'll keep on the ground with Jones. And Ndamukong Suh makes the tackle. The recipe's pretty simple, I think, right? Just give your superstar the ball, continue to feed him.
Yeah, don't overthink this one, right? Make sure he's touching the football, but you're also counting on his intelligence in playing the game as well. If it's not there, don't force the run. Just make sure you hang on to the football and keep the clock ticking.
A gain of 3 last play. This time they double it and pick up 6.
Another nice pickup through the air, and I think a lot of people might expect them to run the ball in this situation, Brandon, but with this lead, they're electing to throw the football. Swings, slants, quick outs, things that they consider safe.
The quick slant caught. And the Packers are going to have a first and goal coming up as they find a way to convert there on 3rd and 1. Back-to-back receptions for him, and it's another first down. He's been the go-to guy. They needed a big play there on 3rd down. Went his way. It worked out.
Doesn't matter whether they've scouted it or that they think he's going to get the ball. He has a knack for finding his way open and completing the connection.
Into a mass of bodies, and I think they held him out. They did. No gain on the play, and it's going to be 2nd and goal. Well, no doubt here in the 4th quarter, this is a huge defensive series.
Hey, they can read the scoreboard. They realize if they give up a field goal here, this game might be out of reach. They understand the stakes and are playing accordingly.
2nd down and goal. Rodgers toward the end zone, but that's going to wind up incomplete.
From the snap, he certainly looked like he knew where he wanted to go with the ball, but surprise, that guy was covered. So that took his attention elsewhere to no avail.
A lot of tired bodies on that field, but this is a big play, 3rd and goal. They'll try and run it in with Jones. And he'll take this into the end zone for a Green Bay touchdown. Aaron Jones with his 3rd touchdown of the game, number 7 on the year. And the Packers add 6 to their lead. He keeps carrying the ball into the end zone, and in this one, he's sort of carrying the team on his back.
He's the reason that they lead right now, no question about it. And you talk about on his back, he's not minding the extra weight at all, is he? Carrying that just as lightly as he does the football. Yeah, what a great performance so far.
Those 3 touchdowns, it's got him in the lead. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. Taken in the end zone, and he'll just take a seat, and the drive will begin at the 25-yard line.
25-yard line.
The Buccaneers offense ready to rock and roll again. And with this deficit, you can't have too many more drives like the last drive where you had to punt it away.
You know what I would tell my offense right here? The punter doesn't exist, guys. He doesn't even exist. He's not a team anymore. I just cut him, all right? So you've got to go out and create some offense for us here and give us some points. No way does that guy get on the field on this drive.
Poor punter.
Yeah, it wasn't his fault. But, hey, listen, there's got to be casualties at times. We're trying to win a game.
They'll contain him to just 4. 2nd down. Interesting note about our 2 quarterbacks, Brady and Rodgers. This is sort of a rubber match for these guys. They've been around a long time. We all know that, but they've only met twice before, with Rodgers winning in 2014 and then Brady leveling the score in 2018. To throw again on 2nd down. Brady. He finds his tight end Howard. That's complete. And he gets this one just shy of the 40. They'll mark him down at the 39. It's a first down on a gain of 10.
10 at the 39-yard line.
Throwing now is Brady. That's complete to his running back, Evans. And they'll get this well past midfield before being stopped just before the 35. 25 yards that time. You cannot write these guys off just yet, not with a quarterback like that under center.
You mean it actually crossed your mind with him running the team that you could actually maybe write this game off?
Not yet.
Not a chance. Not with him. We've seen it too many times.
Brady's throw there complete. And he gets it down a yard or two shy of the 30 before he's out of bounds. 5 yards on the catch there, brings up second down. And he's over 100 yards now after that last catch. Already, of course, leading the NFL in receiving yardage.
So he's done nothing at all to hurt his cause to stay in that spot. But I've been so impressed with how he's gotten it done. Body control, route running. How about the way he competes for the football at the end of the play?
And boy, that one drops incomplete, but if he was hit a fraction sooner, it may have been a fumble. What we just saw there, that's really been a common theme all afternoon.
A lot of pressure. That forced the errant pass. He's been under duress this entire afternoon. He just had to unload that one. He's fortunate it was just incomplete and not intercepted.
This into the hands of his running back, Ronald Jones. And he is going to have the Buccaneers first down by about a yard as they find a way to convert there on 3rd down and 5.
That was just a good example of taking what the defense gave him. No one open downfield, knew where his safety valve was, swung it out to him. He gets upfield and picks up the first down. Well done all the way around.
So signs of life in what's been a dormant offense in this second half. Here's 1st and 10. Brady to throw again. Over the middle here to Brown. And this will leave him a yard short. Nice pickup of 9 yards on first down. Give him 9 there on the first down completion.
2nd and 1.
That last catch short of the marker by just a yard leaves him with a very manageable 2nd and 1. Now Brady again. That's complete to his receiver, Godwin. And the Buccaneers are going to have a 1st and goal as he'll be taken down at the 7-yard line.
Well, whenever you talk about players that really broke out in the 2019 season, you better add Chris Godwin to that list. Over 1,300 yards receiving, 9 touchdowns. He was 2nd among receivers last season receiving yards per game at 95. This guy combines great body control, excellent strength, and terrific route running ability to become a really big downfield threat. Defensively, we always know that he is tough in run support, and I think the way that he gets there is he understands what an offense is going to do before the ball's even snapped. A great job of scouting prior to the game, then reading, reacting, and taking the right path to the ball carrier.
They'll try again here from the 7 on 2nd and goal. They'll try again with Jones. And he's able to get it down to the 2-yard line. A nice run there as he picks up 6. It's going to be 3rd and goal now.
And Brandon, they went to a nickel defense, and that's a surprise this close to the goal line, because ordinarily you use the back end of the end zone, the sidelines as extra defenders, and you want bigger people on the field to try and help against the run.
He can run for it, and he will. And he gets halfway there down to the 1-yard line. The keeper nets him only a yard, and that's going to bring up 4th. This is a long drive offensively. Wouldn't you hate to end this with just 3 points?
Doesn't it feel like during a ball game you have certain narratives going on, and there's certain drives that seem to take on just a bit more importance than others? This feels like one of those, doesn't it? To me, 3 points here, a major letdown. This is the time to go and put 6 on the board.
And they'll let the fullback try and take him home. And he's into the end zone for a Tampa Bay touchdown. It's the fullback. His first touchdown on the year. And the Bucs are able to close the gap just a bit.
I'm not sure win-win is the proper term here, but it certainly felt like it. They got the touchdown they needed, but if I'm on the defensive side of the ball, okay, you got the touchdown, but it sure took you a long time.
Yeah, because offensively, though, you're probably hoping for a 1 to 5 play drive. That one ate up a little more time than they were hoping.
You're exactly right, and if you have that 1 to 5 play drive, you actually build up momentum. and even more hope when they had to slog their way downfield. They got the touchdown, but it's almost like, yeah, you know.
Doesn't feel right.
Exactly.
2 scores down, 3 timeouts left. Still a chance if they can somehow get this one back. And this one's going to be covered up by the Packers hands team. They knew they needed a miracle. They had to have that onside kick. They didn't get it.
Well, as we knew, even before they put the toe to the leather on that one, their chances of getting that done, slim and none. And I do believe we saw Slim just leave the door, didn't we?
We did indeed. I think we're down to none. Now trotting out there, the Packers getting ready to go. And a few kneel downs should just about do it. Now, defensively, they do have all 3 timeouts, but very little reason to use them at this point. And now with 1:52 to go, we get another pause in the action. A timeout here defensively. The last run got a couple. Here's 2nd and 8. They'll go again to Jones. And he's going to have to protect the football and take his lumps here at this stage of the game as they stop him behind the line. An important play right here, 3rd and 10.
And I would expect pressure here.
And he'll go down shy of the 40 at the 41.
He was brought down by Shaq Barrett.
To throw is Brady. Evans has it left side. And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25. A big pickup there, 18 yards and a Buccaneer first. He'll drop this underneath for Jones. And down inside the 15, shy of the 10. Another nice gain. That's now 30 yards between those last 2 plays. This is caught. Gronkowski. And the stop will come inside the 5 at the 4. 7 yards, the pickup on the pitch and kick. And this is caught now for a late touchdown. So hold everything here. This one's not over yet. Touchdown. Okay, game on. Don't go anywhere yet. You got a 1-score game now. Probably going to rely on the onside kick coming up.
Yeah, they have to. It's not a high percentage play, but it's better than not having a chance at all. And that's when you put your leapers and your fly on one side, get that high hop, and hope that one of the guys can come up with it.
And on the other side, get that hands team ready.
No doubt about it.
An extra point try now for Suckup. And the lead is down to a field goal now. So that drive, 4 plays. And it's all finished off with a touchdown by Tampa Bay. So a little under 50 seconds to go. Plenty of time if they can get this onside kick. And this is going to be recovered by the hands team. And that should just about put a capper on this one. Well, 4th quarter, they felt like they needed the football back. Unfortunately, they couldn't get it.
And I know we brought analytics into the game, and someone has said here that the data says that when a team's expecting an onside kick, 80% of the time, the team expecting it, they do actually recover the ball, which is what we saw here. I just wonder if that number is much more of a anecdotal type of a number. Kind of like when the coaches tell us, well, when you score on special teams, 93% of the time you win the game. I'm still waiting to see that number is empirical.
Again, it's Jones. Still on it. Down the numbers. There he goes.
That's right, baby. It's all
and he's across for the touchdown. And in the final minute, that should just about seal it.
Bottom line, when you play a runner with these talents, you've got to be able to wrap up and get him on the ground. Or the first person who gets there, hold him up long enough for the next wave to get there and get him down. Otherwise, he will continue downfield and find pay dirt.
Extra point try now for Crosby. And he's been a busy man, 5 for 5 now as he knocks another one through to extend the lead. It only took him 2 plays there to find the end zone. The last one, the long run, getting him in for 6 points. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. And this carries into the end zone, and it'll come out to the 25 as he will not attempt to return. And this offense trotting back onto the field. Let's turn our attention here to Ronald Jones. And there are the numbers. Got off to that torrid hot start. We thought he was in for maybe a career day. Not the case.
No doubt about it. It almost looks like
And got his man complete. And he just falls short down at the 1-yard line. So often in overtime, Charles, games are won or lost on one big play. That might have been that big play right there.
And the ability to execute it despite the stakes, because let's face it, we've been there before. We've seen guys, maybe they hyperventilate a little bit when it's their opportunity. Not in this situation. They executed it calmly, and they really got it done.
And now they're set up in prime position. So that's a wrap for Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gaudin, and this has been a presentation of the NFL on EA Sports. For more, check us out at easports.com. And with that, I'm off to the airport. Charles will be on I-4 back to Windermere as we say so long from Tampa.
Have a nice trip. I'll be home before you even take off.
Lucky.